Hey yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, and it's another week of Just a Thought, man. And this show, this week, we're gonna be talking about the cause of suffering. Does it really exist? Is it something that we making up in our head? Are we making ourselves unhappy? Are we trying to be able to live a very miserable life to be able to fit in with people? You know what I'm saying? That's a question to be able to ask yourself. You know what I mean? We often always think that it's always the things around us, but we have to understand that we are creating our own world. There is no circumstances that are going against you that are stopping you from being able to get to your goals. It's only you. So you are creating this life. So you have the right to be able to actually change it or be able to stay in it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to get into the intro and then we'll be right back. As usual, peace and blessings, boy. Jarmel Reese, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just a Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See you soon.
You're innovative. You have the power to move mountains. You have the power to be able to do anything that you want. It all exists in your mouth, and in the way you think. And your spirit loves you so much that your spirit will agree with you, or anything that you say to it. So if you tell your spirit that you're broke, your spirit is going to believe you. Overall, your spirit just loves you and wants the best for you. We give ourselves such a hard time trying to fit into what the world calls normal. How about if you challenged yourself in such a way that you had no choice but to grow? Then perhaps you might see the greatness that you have stored inside your kingdom. And that's when you will see you had the true keys to the kingdom the whole time. Peace and blessings. Blessings and peace.
As we always do, before we get off into what it is that we're going to talk about and get into our topic for the night, we breathe, allowing ourselves to be able to be used. Coming into the day, making sure that we are always being a vessel, not being able to speak from another place, from any place that's not of understanding. Man, let's get it, man. Hey, yo, and with that being said, like I said, man, we are here. It is Just a Thought. It's another week. I hope y'all had a great week, man. I had a great week. A lot of things been going on, a lot of moving pieces, but always being able to stay positive, staying forward movement, and everything that we being able to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's always the goal when we doing these things in life, man. So with that being said, the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering, does it really exist? And you know, that's a real statement. Does it really exist? Everybody always thinks that you have to go through this and go through this and go through that. The reality of it is it's always based off the decisions that we choose to be able to make. We make this life harder for ourselves, right? So I'm going around fixing this mic for some reason. It's crazy. But we make a hard time for ourselves. Some of us don't even know that we could be able to just have anything it is that we want, because it already tells you that even in biblical times, with life in general, that ask and it should be given to you. Seek and you should find. Knock and it should be open to you. And that's with anything in your life. And all you have to do really is to be able to go towards your goals and just strive towards that. But most of us get off course. And you know what I'm saying? Including myself, I've gotten off course, you know what I mean, and made a harder life for myself. So in some instance that I've always had to have for myself. And maybe it was because of some of the things we talk about on this show, like your self-image. You know what I mean? The way that you see yourself, the neighborhood that you come from. You think that people from your neighborhood can't be able to do this because you were told that people from this type of environment can't be able to reach this level of success. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. And that's the thing that stops us from being able to reach our goals and being able to reach our highest potential. Just believing. And we start to suffer inside of our own minds, and we start thinking the world is this way, and these people are like this, and that person is like this, and that person is like this. Now, let's not get it twisted. I want people to understand that I understand that there are people who have been conditioned to be able to have either that be racism, whether that be any form of hatred. I understand that there are people that are conditioned to be that way, but that's also a cause of suffering because that's a choice. See, it's passed on from generation to generation, right? So think about this: if you put a little black baby in a store with a little white baby, right? They're going to play with each other. They're not going to think about the fact of what color they are, whatever it is. They are going to play as the spirit. The spirit is going to play with each other. But what happens is they get stigmatized by the adult that's raising them and their conditioning and how things are. And they start telling them how things are in this world, which is their reality. Most of the time, that's their reality. If we start thinking about some of our we start thinking about some of the people that we are raised around, they have a stigma of what race is and what this is based off of what era they were raised in. So for me, in my era, racism was way different from what it is right now. So from my kids, me teaching my kids racism would probably be crazy because they're going to school with different nationalities all the time. It would be crazy to probably teach that because you would be looked at way more differently than you would have if you were in a different era, right? So in this era, that is just looked in a different manner. So understanding that the conditioning is a cause of suffering. We've conditioned ourselves in so many different ways where we say, hey, I don't go on that corner over there because those people do this things. But you know, in that same instance, right, somebody won't walk on that corner. People like myself, I've had different experiences with different people that people call people bad. They this way, they're this, they do this. And I've had different experiences with them when I'm able to experience them. And maybe it's because of the way that I carry myself and I'm not looking for anything and I'm not looking for a reason to be able to have a bad time. So sometimes we're always just looking for a bad time because we're expecting it. And it's based off of where we come from in the neighborhood that we in. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into our first video of the night, man. And it's going about suffering and why do we do stuff like that?
The temptation when dealing with anxiety is always and invariably to focus on the ostensible cause of our worry. Let's say the journey to the airport, or the forthcoming speech, or the letter one's waiting for, or the presentation one has to hand in. But if we proceed more psychologically, we might begin in a very different place. With great kindness and no disrespect, we may step past the objective content of anxiety and look instead at something else. How the anxious person feels about themselves. An unexpected cause of high anxiety is self-hatred. People who have grown up not to like themselves very much at all have an above-average risk of suffering from extremes of anxiety. Because if one doesn't think one is worthy, it must follow that the world is permanently and imminently at high risk of punishing one in the way one suspects one actually deserves. It seems to fit that people may be laughing behind one's back, that one may soon be sacked or disgraced, that one's an appropriate target for bullying and rejection, and that persecution and worse may be heading towards us. If things seem to be going well, this must just be some deceptively quiet period before others are about to realize their error and mete out some horrific punishment. For the self-hating, anxiety is a preemptive anticipation of the pain that one unconsciously feels one is owed. Very bad things must and should happen to very bad people. Part of the problem, and one of the curious aspects of the way our minds work, is that it isn't always clear that one is even suffering from low self-esteem. Hating oneself has just become second nature rather than an issue one has the will to rebel against, or so much as notice.
So, listen, with that being said, man, it is so many people that are just, it's like what they said. Hating yourself becomes second nature. You don't even realize the fact that you actually hate yourself when you're causing yourself to suffer through things. You're waiting for something bad to be able to happen because you ultimately think that you're a bad person. You ultimately don't even believe in what it is that you're saying or what it is that you're doing, because if you were, then it would be a result of everything that you were doing in your life. I know this sounds so crazy. It sounds so crazy, but at the end of the day, man, you got to believe that you are a great person. Nobody else. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else, and it won't ever have anything to do with anybody else. If you're looking for someone else to give you some type of validation outside of you, you're never going to be able to seek it. And I think sometimes what we do is and what causes us to start suffering is that we start actually just believing everybody else but ourselves. We don't believe that we have the power to be able to change. We don't believe it. It doesn't have anything. We hear from somebody else. Somebody will be like, "Hey, I think you're super talented. I think you're amazing. I think you got the talent to be able to do this, and you got the talent to be able to do that." And what'll happen? Soon as we get that really good thing that happens to us when somebody tells us keep going and do this, we'll get something from somebody else that tells us that our stuff isn't this and they hate it and we should do this and we should go and stop doing whatever it is. And instead of accepting the positive um the positive talk, we accept the negative over. We'll forget about that ruined good time. That we'll forget about that good thing that somebody said to us, and we'll remember that negative thing all day. We'll take it into our whole day. We'll be having a great day, and then all of a sudden, let's just say our car catches a flat. We had a great day. We got all this money. We did this, and then we catch a flat, and then boom, we put ourselves into a suffering situation where we start suffering from things and acting like our lives is terrible. And in reality, our lives aren't terrible. Our lives are beautiful. It's what we make it, and we are causing ourselves to be able to be under just direct stress and suffering, but based off of the decisions and the choices that we're choosing to make, and not understanding that life is beautiful for us. So let me get back into the video. We're going to go back into it. Let's bring it up again.
To tease out the sorrow and start to feel it again as a prelude to treating it, one might need to fire a few questions at oneself. We've prepared a self-esteem questionnaire. 1. Broadly speaking, I like myself as I am. Agree strongly? Agree? Neither agree nor disagree? Disagree? Disagree strongly. 2. People should be relatively grateful to have me in their lives. Agree strongly? Agree? Neither agree nor disagree? Disagree? Disagree strongly. 3. If I didn't know me, I'd think I was okay. Agree strongly? Agree? Neither agree nor disagree? Disagree? Disagree strongly. growing up, I was given the feeling that I properly deserved to exist. Agree strongly. Agree. Neither agree nor disagree. Disagree. Disagree strongly. If one finds oneself at the disagreeing end of many such questions, it may be that one is an agitated person, not because one has more to worry about, but because one likes oneself rather less than normal, and certainly rather less than one fairly should. The cure isn't therefore to try to dispel anxieties with logic. It is to try to dispel it with love. It is to remind the anxious person, who may be ourselves, that we are not inherently wretched, that we have a right to exist, that past neglect wasn't deserved, that we should feel tenderly towards ourselves, and that we need, both metaphorically and probably practically too, a very long hug. The logic of this analysis is truly counterintuitive. It suggests that when panic next descends, one shouldn't spend too long on the surface causes of the worry and instead try to address the self-hatred fueling the agitation. Anxiety is not always anxiety. Sometimes it's just a very well disguised, entrenched, and very unfair habit of disliking who we are.
Our emotional first aid kit provides a set.
Man, that's the best you could be able to say something like that, man. That ultimately it just becomes our own self-image of ourselves and how we view the things that we have in our life. And it comes from suffering, man. We don't have to suffer, man. We are here to be able to enjoy life. Trust me, there is nothing waking you up every morning that wants to be able to have you go through a tough life. Is it something that wants to wake you up to remind you um that you are living? Absolutely. You're going to have experiences. And it's okay to be able to have experiences. Have them and move on. Most people get so stuck in the experience that they create a life of hell for themselves. They get caught in one experience. They get caught in one, I'm sorry, not one experience. They get caught in one lesson and they don't learn that lesson. And so what they continue to do is they continue to be able to live and make a life of hell for themselves based off of the decisions that they chose to make yesterday. And I'm wanting to tell you that life is for you every day, not based off of what you did yesterday. Yesterday is the only thing you're judging about yourself. You're judging your past on yourself. You're making it hard on yourself. If everybody else wants to live in the past, that's okay. You have to move forward with yourself and start learning how to be able to love. Because if not, you're just going to create hell. And it's nothing worse than creating your own hell when you have the right to be able to create your own heaven. Not realizing that you are the author of your own story. You have the right every day to wake up and start over. You are a blank piece of paper. Now, can you change the people around you? And can you change the things that are around you? No, you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. And that's a double meaning with that. Either change the people around you or change the people around you. Because either way, it's going to have to be able to change. I learned that from somebody back in the day, man. A friend told me some stuff like that, and I thought that was a real statement. Change the people around you or change the people around you. And everybody's not willing to be able to go, and everybody's not willing to be able to change. But ultimately, in the end, you have the right to be able to create your own universe, your own heaven, your own utopia, the things that you want to be able to bring into your life, or you could create the hell that you want to be able to receive. So either way, it's going to be a blessing, man, and you're going to be able to receive it and get it. And once you wake up sometimes from creating hell from yourself, you realize that whoever taught you about that you had limits, whoever taught you that you can't do something, whoever taught you that um you have to always sit in the back and wait your turn, you're going to realize that that was all real lies. Real lies. You're going to realize they were real lies. And you're going to be a better person and you're going to move forward. You're going to understand that suffering only exists through the mindset of the person who's looking. Give you another video with my man Michael Beckwin before we get up out of this joint, man. And this is the healing part that we like to do, man. It's the healing.
And the two imposters, criticism and praise. Those are two imposters. You're able to sidestep them. You know, you're not running towards praise, and you're not running from criticism. Mm-hmm. You just look at them, see what you can glean from them. Oh, this person doesn't like me. Okay, is there anything for me to learn there? Any place for me to grow? Oh, there's some praise. I don't want to get addicted to that. You know, I can take it as feedback. Oh, I'm doing something right. That's cool. I love it. Beautiful. But I'm not living to run towards one and run away from the other. It's just feedback. Yeah. You know, I'm actually going in and getting my cues from my interior awareness.
Yeah. That's powerful. That's also, I think it's really challenging for a lot of folks today. Sure.
And you just said it.
Yeah.
People are on this internet, they're on this social media, and they actually think that somebody out there is saying whatever they're saying is important.
And more than ever today, I think it was you, WMD.
I get my mic on. I gotta make sure I keep this mic on because man, I've been cutting this mic off and then I won't cut it back on for the rest of the show. So I'm sorry for some of y'all viewers that's been looking and stuff like that. My apologies. I am paying attention to my mic button. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, it's like it's pretty much what like my man Michael Beckman was saying. It's like you get so emotionally involved with what people think about you is ridiculous, and what a person thinks about you doesn't even matter. You should ultimately ask a person, what is it that they think about themselves? And if somebody tells you something about you, you should ask them, what is it that you think about yourself? That's the real question. Don't internalize on people's expectations of you or their thoughts of you. It's just a thought. It doesn't mean that it has to be your reality. You live and create your own reality. You are the cause of your own suffering. And that's just the thought. All right? So with that being said, man, it's another week of Just a Thought, man. It's always a good time to be able to kick it with y'all, have a good time, man, and be able to go over some good information all the time, man. Of course, I'm gonna leave you with a new video. Matter of fact, man, my man Trippy, he putting this song out Father's Day. Hustle, go get it. He put it on his album. I'm gonna put it on my album too. Video coming out real soon. Well, matter of fact, the video coming out ASAP, like now. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it again, man. It's called Hustle, Go Get It. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. Until I see you next week, next Wednesday, man. Y'all have a blessed day and leave all your comments. Make sure you subscribe to my channels. Make sure you go into all the new things, man. We got the shoes coming out, the album Free coming out, man. I'm just out here. I'm outside. Got a bunch of shows. I will be in Kenosha on Friday. If you're in Kenosha, I'll be in Kenosha at the Public at 8 o'clock. Public, look it up if you're in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'll be in Arizona. I'll be doing a show in Arizona. I'll be in St. Louis on the 23rd. So Arizona the 20th, St. Louis the 23rd. We touring. We around the world, man. I'm in a place near you. I'm everywhere, man. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. That's the boy Jarmel Reese. Like my kids will tell you, boy, in real life, not in fake life.
Yeah, and man, I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, go and get it. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world. don't move my pivot, baby, I was born to get it. I had a kid come and ask me what's my motivation. I told him feed the youth the truth of this corrupted nation. Always keep your business straight and always keep your patience. Now collection dog, I built a brand and formed a corporation. I'm more wiser than the man that I thought I was. At least I was yesterday, I think I thought I was. Hey, do you really question me? I think we question us. So are you really hating me? I think we hating us. Inside, don't know how many nights I cried. From the cell up in my brain, from all the pain I held inside. Now trippy got me out in AZ. I love the weather, the energy's amazing. My chakras coming together. It's nothing more amazing than mind and spirit together. I ain't tripping off yesterday, cause today gon' be mine forever, forever. I'm rapping, boy, you know it's pure purpose. While y'all eat the words of these serpents that's on the surface. I made a history out of shaking these non-believers. Disrespect me, now respect me, expect me like I was Jesus. I'm playing in the game, you playing the commentary. You on the sideline, so I guess it ain't necessary. I'm saying, man, all this unnecessariness. Yeah, good, man. Yeah, hey man, I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, go and get it. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it.
Yeah. Let me take y'all back to the start of my depression. Not even 7, I was already stressing. Mom chose the drugs, I was left to just question what I did wrong, why must God teach this lesson? That shit made me strong, I consider it a blessing. I didn't choose to rap, life chose my profession. Now I'm expressing my emotions and transgressions. No more suppressing my feelings of aggression. Yeah, my words are a weapon, so don't you just reject them. I'ma fight for what's right. Yeah, till I'm fucking breathless. Yeah, this world is a mess, and yeah, it's time for us to step in. Everybody living reckless, so you better eat my message.
Come on, come on.
So you better eat my message. Yeah, you better eat my message.
Yeah.
It's trippy.